that detailed approach. What the fuck is going on? This is Winging It, the somewhat whimsical, certainly whirring, decidedly wonky, seldom weighty, endlessly well-intentioned, and wildly witty show about music where one knows what's coming and the other doesn't. And it happens in between both proper to ensure you can spend what I affectionately call a fuckload of time with us. So, any guesses what we're talking about? The answer is no, because there's no fucking way you know what I'm about to say.
I do not know. I will try to field it with the ultimate grace. However, I am currently suffering. I hope this doesn't happen to the listeners, but I'm currently suffering from quite a bit of pain in my sternum from laughing so hard prior to the show. I'm glad you were not subjected to the imbecility and the hilarity.
Just the two of us were.
Just the two of us were.
It was quite something. So this comes to us courtesy of dangerousminds.net. So feed the world with bad music. The wacky world of charity singles. So we're going to talk about terrible charity singles, which is kind of brutal but kind of funny at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I know the ones they're going to name, and they're kind of terrible, but they're charities, so you can't say they're terrible.
Well, we're going to say
but,
it.
You know,
today's the day.
They're at least terrible on one level. We will grant that.
At least one level. So in the mid-'80s, the pop music scene had this idea that recording songs with superstar ensemble bands would change the world. Nobody, especially not Bob Geldof, stopped to consider that maybe it was a little condescending, a little patronizing, and a little bit, I don't know, colonialist to want to fix all the poor, starving, dark people. Do they know it's Christmas? Probably not, dude. And they probably don't care either. Ever considered that they may not be into the whole Jesus thing? That's what they're saying. So, we'll see. Right. So these songs have existed for years, although obviously George Harrison got in on the action first with a concert for Bangladesh in 1971. The most famous ones, of course, were the gazillion selling hit singles where proceeds went to Ethiopia, We Are the World, and Do They Know It's Christmas in 1984 and 1989, respectively. Hell, even the money from George Michael's Last Christmas, Everything She Wants single went to helping the famine in Ethiopia. Not that this was bad. I mean, I'm certainly not going to attack George because that dude was amazing. Yes, he was. Sniff, sniff.
I did not know that about that. You know, that's a Christmas song that everybody loves or should love.
Oh, yeah.
Last Christmas, come on. That's a badass song. I did not know that about it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that coupled with Everything She Wants, it's that combo.
Oh, nice.
The general feeling of these charity songs ended up being a little OMGZ. We need to help the poor who can't help themselves. Come on. Let us change the world with our synthesizer-ness, big shoulder clothing, and rock star monies. On the other hand, it catalyzed some pretty HFS songs and mind-blowing music videos. The following works are not all that good, but they're also not all terrible. Some of them you should love authentically. They're great. I mean, some of them are great anyway. But we also recognize the cheese factor is basically at Wisconsin level. That's what they say. So let's take a look. One of the first things we have is Swedish Metal Aid's song called Give a Helping Hand. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So have you heard this one? I haven't heard this one.
No.
Okay, so let's listen. All right, so interesting. Europe's Joey Tempest founded the Swedish Metal Aid band in 1985 to raise money to bring famine relief to Africa. All was going well until they performed their song on TV. When the Ronnie James Dio curated charity album Here in Aid was released in 1986, it was the best part of a year late. The original sessions had taken place 12 months previously, but appallingly, bickering over contracts delayed its journey into stores. Those famine victims would just have to wait.
Oh, no.
So that's kind of brutal. So additional information about it. Across the sea, Europe's Joey Tempest had better luck. He put together the Swedish Metal Aid Project, a collective of local musicians, including members of his own band, a year before their breakthrough smash The Final Countdown, alongside such names as Easy Action, Who 20 Volt, Neon Leon and Bondage Babes, Trash Treat, Orion Swords, Glorious Bank Robbers, Candy Rocks, and Aphrodite. No idea who any of those people
No,
are.
I imagine if you're a Swedish metalhead, you're going, yeah, fuck
Hell
yeah.
yeah, fuck yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, very interesting. So, let's talk a little bit about this song. So, now what it did do is it sold 50,000 copies, which is nice. Now, I don't know how much money that raised for famine, but it was, to me, and we just reminded ourselves, or for the first time really introduced ourselves, to this little slick, synthesized, overhaul 80s little gift. So what was your thought on this tune?
It's kind of funny. I don't think everybody else heard it, but I did mention Dio. I invoked
You
Dio.
did? Oh, yeah.
After the song, I said, wait a minute. This song is, for one thing, I was having a tough time hearing. I usually am not hell-bent on listening to the lyrics of a song the first time.
I'm sure not hell-bent in leather either.
Yeah, hell-bent for leather. But this time I really tried to, because it's a thematic thing, you know.
Right.
And but it was a little difficult, but I thought, that aside, there are, of course, multiple lead vocalists, as is typical with this kind of thing. They use a switch between these people. We don't happen to know them, but I'm sure, like I said,
No,
if you're
yeah.
a Swedish metalhead. So they switch back and forth. But the vocals aside, the music, the drama, the whole Sturm und Drang of the music could easily have been a Dio song or any of the hard rock bands of that era and going a little bit forward. And I kind of dug it, and it didn't where it wasn't cheese. I love that they're doing whatever, but honestly, some of the songs are just gratuitously cheesy. This one really isn't.
Now, wait a minute. Let me read some of the lyrics, and you'll let me see if you still think.
that could easily spoil it.
So, here it is. Give a helping hand to your fellow man, and everywhere, be a brother. It can easily be your sister or your mother.
Okay, you can stop. Okay, I didn't hear any of that. I just heard some really decent music.
But
for
wait,
a change.
there's pre-chorus. Does anybody care? Does anybody care?
Do they got dibs on this? Because everybody says this shit, you know?
And then here's the chorus. Allow me to get ready. Why don't you give a smile to a crying child? Helping hand to a struggling man? Done and make your love better. For every road you travel down, you know this, they must go round. And they gon' need somebody to give a helping hand
They gone.
to your fellow
They
man.
gon' need somebody.
They gon'. So, now what were you saying about the cheese?
Well, you know, perhaps it was a little premature, you know. Perhaps I didn't have all the facts. All right, it's pretty awful, honestly, but the music is much more of a saving grace than songs of this type usually. Anyway, I thought it was pretty okay. It's a pity about the words, though. But I'm sorry. I hate to be like that, but you know,
yeah, I mean, so just there's the Wisconsin situation.
yes.
There it is.
It's subtle Wisconsin.
But the 1980s were not where charity tunes began. Actually, in 1974, there was a horrible cyclone in Australia in the city of Darwin. Joke all you want about the name of the city where it happened, but it was really awful. And to make things worse, it happened on Christmas. So the Kiwi pop duo, Bill and Boyd, recorded a song called Santa Never Made It to Darwin to raise money for Cyclone Tracy relief. This particular writer says he's a fan of the song that's been included here for our listening pleasure. So let's enjoy it.
Wow. You know, and I'm saying I was, of course, around in 74, you said. I was 13. I have no recollection of this whatsoever. I should know it, so it must not have been really super widespread, but we will certainly give it a listen.
Let's take a listen. So because last time we weren't sure if the cheese factor was there, I don't even want you to say anything till I read some of the lyrics.
Yeah, I've learned my lesson.
On Christmas Eve of 74, the warning sounded out. For all the broadcast stations, a great storm was near about. The boys and girls asleep in bed, tomorrow was the day. Their mums and dads all prayed the mighty storm would turn away. Santa never made it to Darwin. Disaster struck at dawn on Christmas Day.
Good God.
Santa never made it to Darwin. A big wind came and blew the town away.
Is this where we both cried aloud, rending our clothes and beating our breasts and putting on sackcloth, say, my God, that's horrible.
We kind of did.
It was
horrible.
I exclaimed, at least, that's
It was
horrible.
Horrible. Oh, my God.
If I just heard that out of the blue, it's certainly got that. I mean, it has that 70s cheese thing, like the Ballad of the Green Berets,
Oh,
I still love that song, But it has that 70s cheese thing that you could buy if it weren't. Well, the problem is, if it were a made-up story, it would be horrible, really horrible. If it was a true story, it's horrible, even more horrible. It's just, either way, it's something you do not want to hear. I will give the Sons of Bitches credit, though. It makes you want to give money to Darwin because it's so depressing.
It makes me want to just turn off the radio so I wouldn't even know what it was for. So it was written by the band's William Cate, which the band is Bill and Boyd. Funds raised supported the Australian city of Darwin, Northern Territory, following the damage wrought by Cyclone Tracy on the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, as we mentioned. The song peaked at number 2 on the Australian Kent Music Report. At the 1975 Australian Record Awards, it won Song of the Year. It also won APRA Song of the Year at the 1976 Country Music Awards of Australia. Now I hear that.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I hear that. So I'm glad we didn't listen to the whole song because it was almost 6 minutes.
Oh, my goodness.
We barely got through 1 minute.
Yeah, it was intolerable. Yeah.
It was absolutely horrific. So anyway.
But we will both say this from the depths of our hearts. If suffering through that song was actually going to help them,
I'd suffer.
We would do it. But since nobody benefits from it at all,
we're out.
We're out.
We're the fuck out of there. Holy shit. So you may have some familiarity with the charity Comic Relief. Well, it's a bit of a big deal in the UK where it's quite a large event. Highly star-studded and called Red Nose Day. Because everyone, you guessed it, wears red noses. It targets the same charitable areas: worldwide poverty, local hunger organizations. That said, it has produced a few of the absolute best songs for its cause. My favorite is, they say, hands down, the Cliff Richards Young Ones collaboration on a song that I love called Living Doll. But I will say that I swoon over Bruce Dickinson singing Alice Cooper. So, very interesting. So, well, let's take a look at, or listen rather, to Living Doll. Living Doll is a song written by Lionel Bart, made popular by Cliff Richard and the Shadows. They were then known as the Drifters, and in 1959, it was a top-selling single in the UK. So it has topped the UK charts twice, once in its original version, and it was a number 1 single, and then a new version was recorded in 1986 in aid of Comic Relief. So very, very interesting. So 27 years after the first relief, alternative comedy group The Young Ones actually approached Richard to record a comic version of the song for Comic Relief charity. So while there was a contrast between, obviously, the two that would then collaborate, worked out, and he agreed. It topped the charts for 3 weeks from March 1986, and the single was certified gold in the UK by BPI in April 1986. So, actually, you're thinking, when was this song performed? Well, it was performed live in 1986 during the television broadcast for Comic Relief. The Young Ones announced to the audience that Richard could not make the show and that well-known BBC presenter John Craven would be taking his place. They introduced Craven, but it was Richard who appeared. Fuck me. All right, so I will say, hearing this song, it was truly awful. Now, I don't know what the original was like, but this was truly awful, in my humble opinion. I'm glad that it helped charity, but again, it is definitely one of the worst.
Well, I mean, it's your basic King Tut. I mean, it is, except it was this was a pre-existing song. And, I mean, 1959, you think he said, I can totally see it.
Yeah.
And Lionel Bart, by the way, that's one of those names. He's written a million things. If we were, I can't name any of them offhand, but I know the list would be like, oh, yeah. He's just one of those names. And that, of course, was a big hit. And Cliff Richard was huge. And we know him from a few songs only over here in the States. But it was a running joke on The Young Ones, which I used to watch. I believe it was on MTV in the beginning.
I would imagine.
Yeah, it was on MTV. And it's completely batshit brand of subversive humor is really, it exists on a plane of British comedy where not everybody just necessarily wants to go,
right?
But it had its following, and it was
actually had its place.
It had its place. It was mostly hilarious. Sometimes you're like, holy shit, but mostly it really was hilarious, and it was a running joke that Rick Mayall's character, the great Rick Mayall, he was obsessed with Cliff Richard, the absolute king of rock and roll, he called him, And this is purely a novelty. They took a song that was was nice to begin with, and it started out that way, and then they came in and made it into a comedy sketch,
Yeah.
which I can kind of see the appeal of, and for charity's sake, I would have bought it too because of the original song.
No.
And, you know,
I'm out.
but it's not something you'd listen to very much, but I mean, it is, they did what they set out to do. Yeah.
I think you're just a lot more forgiving because I'm like, that was horse shit, but that's okay. I'm glad that it had some positive results for charity. Another ensemble band collected in the UK for the BBC Children in Need telethon called The County Line. They covered David Bowie's Heroes, and the video of it is so 80s, I could puke Aquanet. I love it. How can you beat a band that both Suzi Quatro and Bronski beat? So let's take a listen to Heroes by The County Line to help the children in need.
How did we miss this?
I don't know. Okay, so The County Line was only active in 1986 in the UK, and it was a charity project for children in need. And who did it feature? Bronski beat Eddie and the Hot Rods, the Kinks, the Rubettes, Carousel Flyers, I don't know who that is, Steve Hooker, and Suzi Quatro. Well, I will say we should have just left it to Bowie because that was truly horrific.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, the song, I mean, it seems like an easy song to get right. But, I mean,
Right.
seriously, even, I mean, no disrespect, I mean, the Hollywood Vampires with Johnny Depp on lead vocals pulled it off 1,000 times better.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, much, much better. And that sounds like quite a feat. I mean, Johnny Depp is not a singer, really,
Right.
really.
He's not.
But it's way better than that. I don't know why. And those are all vocal. I mean, those are great names. I was going to mention the Kinks. I mean, usually these types of things are overbearing, but
Right.
this is just a cover. Straight
Yes.
without the message, which honestly has yet to be handled well. You know,
Right, I
I'm sorry.
agree.
It's just hard to do right. You know?
I agree.
And this is just a cover, and if it's going to be that, it should be a better one. I mean, honestly, it's just not something you want to listen to. I mean, it seriously isn't.
No.
And usually you'll get, rock musicians, they'll put a message in their own song, like the Kinks. I was going to mention the Kinks. In Father Christmas, he says, don't forget the kids who have nothing, and the kids beat him up and want his money and all that stuff. But he said, don't forget the kids, blah, blah, blah. But this doesn't have even that message. This is just a cover of a song. I will give them huge props for starting with the I Will Be King verse. I hate it when they start about the fucking dolphin,
Yeah, I'm like,
I
wait.
hate that. It's the worst way to
Why
start
would
a
you
song.
do that?
Yeah, I mean, this version made me wish I could swim like the dolphins can swim far away and fast.
Yeah. All right, so this is one that you may know. You do know. We all know. We Are the World. So this is a charity single recorded by the supergroup USA for Africa in 1985. It was written by Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie and produced by Quincy Jones for the album We Are the World. It was meant to raise money for the 1983 to 1985 famine in Ethiopia, with sales in excess of 20 million physical copies. Remember, now one of the other ones we heard was 50,000. 20 million. It's the 8th best-selling single of all time. So, so it was released March 7, 1985 and recorded January 28, 1985. So it was released a couple months later. So, soon after the British group, and we'll talk about this in a minute, Band Aid released Do They Know It's Christmas in December 1984, musician and activist Harry Belafonte decided to create an American benefit single for African famine relief. Mega agent Ken Cragen enlisted several musicians for the project. Jackson and Richie completed the writing the night before the first recording session. On January 28, 1985. The event brought together some of the era's best-known recording artists, including Bruce Springsteen, Cyndi Lauper, Paul Simon, Stevie Wonder, and Tina Turner. So anyway, this is one of those songs. Now, all right, depending on how old you were and how much you'd seen all of this about the famine going on in Africa and all the sad little babies with the little distended bellies and all of that. It depends on those things, right? How impactful this song was. And for me, it was largely impactful. And I thought this was a great song, but it was Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. So anything Jackson touched, I was into, because I don't know if any of you knew this. I was going to marry him. It didn't work out for me.
Of course.
I don't know what happened, but it didn't work out. So, but I thought at the time that this was a really great song. Now, looking back, it is a cheese fest beyond cheese fest. And over singing, crazy, overly earnest, cheese whizzy situation going on. But I don't know. I mean, not nearly as horrible as some of the other things we've heard today.
No, not at all.
In fact, it's far and away better, and it's an actual song that makes sense. And, there comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. That's a little easier to digest than some of the other lyrics we heard.
We're saving our own lives.
Right. It's true. To make a better day. It's you and me.
I find it absolutely fascinating. I haven't heard it in quite, I don't know what was the last time you heard it. It's been years.
Oh my God.
Years and years.
We should probably do that.
We
At
should
least a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Keeping Christine on her toes here.
All right. So we just took our, at least my 900th listen to that song. I don't know how many times you've listened to it, but I was going to listen to like a minute of it and then got caught up in the moment. Oh my God, that song is so good.
Yeah, can we just face that it's not a bad song at all?
It's not a bad song at all.
It was written by two of the finest songwriters we've ever had, Lionel Richie and Michael Jackson. Do you really think it's going to be bad?
And then Quincy Jones?
Yeah,
Come
produced
on.
by Quincy. Even if it were, if it were super duper cheesy, it's still going to be great.
Thank you.
It's not, wait, what's that song, Say, 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 or The Girl Is Mine?
That's it. The Girl Is Mine and Say, Say, Say.
I mean, this is not like, okay, you get great talent, you're going to end up with a great song, because, The Girl Is Mine does happen every now and then.
Well, you can't forget about the other one.
Say, Say, Say kicks ass, bro.
No, it doesn't.
I maintain.
We've already had this discussion.
Say, Say, Say kicks
not
ass, bro.
Correct. Incorrect.
Totally rocks.
Oh my, does not rock.
But this is not a bad song by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it's a great
song. Did you have more to say, or can I just go on?
Well, I mean, you can certainly go on.
No, carry on.
I will just say I could see the video in my mind's eye, and I got to take a minute because MTV is going away. MTV has been gone for years, by the way, but the station is going off the air. But that's where I saw it. I saw this video over and over and over again on what then was music television and then has become horrible, and it's just mostly reality shows and game shows and shit. But I'm really sad that the MTV of my youth has been gone for 20 years. But anyway, that's where I saw this video again and again and again, and literally I was saying the names of the people who were going to sing before they
were saying them. And you had this photographic thing. You could see it. I could semi-see it. It was misty. It was hazy. There were parts. I know this person's there.
I think the thing that struck me is how moving it was after the 900th time. It's still really moving. I mean, all these superstars coming together, and there's a whole documentary out about it, which I've seen, which is an amazing documentary. I had no idea kind of the behind the scenes of the recording of this and the videotaping of it and everything. So crazy. But I will tell you, it's beautiful again, and the lyrics are they have a cheese factor, but not to any level of what we heard earlier.
No, it is not painful, and it does not. It doesn't, detract at all from the fact that it really is a kind of a nice song.
Yes,
it's very and it's the fascination. You're absolutely riveted by switching from one vocalist to another, and these are all superstars. These are all people you know, and they got to have some. All right, we got Christina's two favorite vocalists in there, Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen, and boy, do we get a lot of Bruce Springsteen.
We get more than enough of Bob Dylan.
I mean, you had a whole room full of magnificent talent, and they do. You name them, and they're there.
And you got I can't.
I can think of a few people of the time who are not there, but mostly everybody who is anybody at all is there, and they sound great. Everybody's doing their part. Nobody's overstaying their welcome except Springsteen.
And Bob Dylan.
Yeah, well, we hear from Bob Dylan a couple times, but as far as I'm concerned, he's always welcome.
Not necessary.
They sound so immaculate together, honestly. You get a bunch of, disparate and totally, you got Willie Nelson and you've got Dionne Warwick, okay? I mean, we've got a range of vocalists here, but somehow they sound so glorious together, and they've got kind of a call and response-y kind of a thing happening. Yep. And it is brilliantly arranged, and the whole thing is gorgeous to listen to.
It really is.
It is honestly minor cheese factor in no way detracts from this. Is an enjoyable listen. You get to hear from a lot of, you got Cyndi Lauper and you got Stevie Wonder. You got everybody on this thing.
Everybody. It was so great.
And everybody from Paul Simon to just the list is endless. and a couple of people we could not remember offhand. Sorry to you guys. We'll
So
find out
many.
later on. But yeah, it's actually worth a listen anytime. It's surprising. I remember I was recalling it fondly, and then you had this wonderful, magnificent spark of inspiration. Why don't we actually listen to the thing?
Yeah, why not?
And it really was. Honestly, it was kind of moving, not necessarily because of the craft of the lyrics, but like I said, these guys are not going to do that bad of a song except
No.
for every once in a while. A little bit of sentimental taking crap, a little bit of this and that, but
Yeah.
mostly not. But you come away from this, I mean, I don't know. If you're really super hard-hearted and jaded and cynical, maybe you might not like it. But I mean, come on, little as the song says, put a little love in your heart. You know,
I mean, it's a different song,
yeah,
but
it's different.
still good.
Isn't that Dion? Is that
Still a
Dion?
good
Yeah.
song, though.
Put a
Yeah.
little love in your heart. As that. Not. I didn't mean
It's
this
not
song.
Dion. That Put a Little Love in Your Heart is
Roberta Flack. No.
I can see him. Al Green.
No.
Little love in your heart. Yes.
Okay, we'll have to find. You
Oh.
figure we would know, right? You know.
Okay. Right here. I'm gonna look it up. Okay. Let's see. Put a little love in your heart. Let's see. Gotta find
And
out.
The world will be a better place if we find out.
It really
it's in
will.
the song, you know.
I mean, that's true. But you
For
thought it
you
was who?
and me. I thought it was Dionne Warwick. I don't know what I'm saying.
Put a little love in your heart.
It was either Roberta Flack or Dionne Warwick.
Well, here it says Jackie DeShannon, but that's a long time ago. So let's see. Put a little love in your heart. I believe that it was
Somebody repopularized it.
Al Green and Annie Lennox.
No, there's one in the middle. I
No,
think.
there's not.
All right.
No, not one that matters.
Jackie DeShannon, and I'm not okay.
1988. Put a little
Wow.
love in your heart. Al Green and
I
Annie
remember Al
Lennox.
Green and Annie Lennox. Yeah.
All right, so that's what it was. So anyway, amazing. Go take a listen to it again. So I say that one passes the test with a little bit of cheese, but not so much that it makes me become lactose intolerant just because there's just an overwhelming amount of cheese. This next one maybe has a little bit more cheese factor, but it still has the similar amount of star power. Different though, and that is Do They Know It's Christmas? Now, do you remember this one?
Oh yeah, very well.
And, I remember when this came out, and I thought, okay, pretty good. I thought it was great, right? But let's learn a little bit about this. Now, when and how did this happen? So, it's a charity song written in 1984 by Bob Geldof and Midge Ure to raise money for the 1983-1985 famine in Ethiopia. It was first recorded by Band Aid, a supergroup assembled by Geldof, consisting of popular British and Irish musicians, in a single day at SARM West Studios in Notting Hill, London, in November 1984. So there's that, and then there's Feed the World 1984, which is the B-side, just in case you were wondering. It was released in the UK on December 7th, 1984, and it entered the UK singles chart at number 1, where it remained for 5 weeks, becoming the Christmas number 1. Sold 1 million copies in the first week, making it the fastest-selling single in UK chart history until Candle in the Wind in 1997, Elton John. Do They Know It's Christmas raised 8 million European for Ethiopia within a year, far exceeding Geldof's hopes. The success inspired other charity singles such as We Are the World. So, this came first, and I remember thinking that was really cool, but where was everybody from the United States, right? So, it was very interesting, but I will say this song was really amazing. I remember feeling like there was a couple of things that were wrong with this song, though, and I'm just going to say them today. One was, of course, a cheese factor, but the other thing, about this song was, tonight, thank God it's them instead of you.
Yeah.
I can't handle that lyric.
Yeah, I've always ooh,
Yeah, it's cringe.
you may want to put it another way, you know?
Yeah, I just feel like that's super cringe, and I can't abide by it. So every time I hear it, it upsets me.
I mean, you're trying to say, be thankful
grateful.
you're not in the same predicament. But I mean, thank God it's them. It's like, be glad it's them. I mean, that's definitely
Instead
not
of you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
just be thankful it's not you would do the trick.
that would be great. Yeah,
That would
just
be fine.
Be thankful for all you have and stop bitching.
I think we can get on board with that.
I feel good about that. So because we've done it consistently so far, let's listen to this song. So we listened to it again, and I will tell you, it's I think it's good. Is it as good as We Are the World? I don't think so. But I think it's a valiant effort, and obviously it kickstarted the whole thing, and that's where We Are the World was born. But again, super, super huge megastars in the UK: Duran Duran, George Michael, Bono, again, because it's UK and Irish, right? We also obviously saw a lot of Paul Young in that one. Not as much singing, but Bananarama, Jodie Watley was there.
The great Boy George.
Boy George.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I can't even handle how amazing his voice is. But amazing heavy hitters there as well. Not quite as many as We Are the World, but, a good song. I think it's a good song. Again, a really great cause. I'm not sure why they didn't have like a crazy room full of people like We Are the World, but it was like more like maybe, I don't know, I'm going to say like 30, and We Are the World was like 80 or something, 70 or 80 different people. It was crazy. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I'm feeling like, maybe a little tub of cream cheese on this one, but not quite a full wheel, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, it's not painful. I'll tell you what, the caterers must have had their hands full with USA for Africa.
Right?
I mean, this is like 80 friggin' superstars in one
Damn.
room. By the way, this is like 40 years now.
Yeah.
And I only, if I ever knew that Harry Belafonte was the really one who kickstarted this, I forgot completely.
Oh, wow.
Because I did not know that.
Well, if you watch the documentary about We Are the World, it's gonna blow your mind because he was the catalyst.
I swear, if I heard it, I completely forgot it. I remembered without having heard it for years, who wrote it, of course, who produced it, a lot of the people who were in it, but not necessarily all. But this one is not terrible. It's not unlistenable or anything. It isn't super cheesy. There's of course the awful line, but some great vocalists, and interesting that you said it was like a B-side. I was, the radio would play it all.
B-side is Feed the World, right? And it just goes into Feed the World or whatever, but it's the B-side. It's very, very interesting. But I didn't have I think I had the 12-inch. I think that's what I had. And I had the tape and the 12-inch.
That's what they always played. It was always one big, long song.
Yeah.
That's all they ever played. And no, it's not bad, and it's still not bad.
It's still not bad.
No.
As far as superior, though, I'm going to have to go with We Are the World.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this one, and then the rest of them needed to just not happen.
Oh, I can't wait. We've
Terrible.
had a couple real winners tonight.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, honestly, that brings us to the end of the list. Not that there aren't more horrible charity songs, but I think we've had enough. I don't know about you, but I've had enough. A lot of cheese, bad cheese. I mean, and I know cheese obviously has gone bad, and that's the very nature of cheese, but this is cheese twice over bad. So I think I'm done. I think I'm good. We ended on a high note, and I feel good.
The good stuff ended up at the end.
Yeah, ended up at the end because I wanted to give you the real ugly shit at the beginning. So anyway, I hope we all enjoyed this trip down charity lane. I know I did. Lots of losers, lots of winners, but at the end of the day, aren't they all winners for trying to help? I think they are.
Their hearts were in the right place.
Right, absolutely, even though the talent wasn't.
It's a shame that it reached our ears, but their hearts were in the right place.
Exactly. Well, now that we've talked that to death, that only leaves for you to say.
You trying to get me to say something?
Usually.
Woof, woof, wrong tree.
Oh, like fuck me.
How about, all right, I'll give you one thing only.
All right.
Let's fly this coop.
This has been Winging It, a presentation of Birds of a Feather, on What the Flock Radio.